Okay, I'm back. Let me grab a rock. Well, this one looks like trouble. It's thin. And in here especially, I mean, just like, well, how much flint is in there? Because it looks like there's no flint in the end. We'll see. I haven't used solids near as much as some people, and so it makes it less likely that I'll get exactly what this has looked like. It may have had a little bit of heat from, like, natural sources that messed it up a little bit. There's little tiny spots seem right there, but then there's some squirreliness right in here, so I'm kind of it's like this kind of thing. When you start seeing that, you're like, we might have issues. Anyway, the whole concept for me in using the solids in this kind of work, it's not that I don't have, let's see what that's doing, it's not working well. It's not that I don't have plenty, oh, that's all messed up. Got in heat. I got plenty of boppers and stuff like that. But when you're dealing with tough material and big cortex and all that kind of stuff, the boppers can just sort of exacerbate the problem because they're kind of soft, designed to not be too shocky. But yeah, this is not a good rock. So on a rock like this, what I'm wondering is there enough material in it that isn't damaged, ruined, to have a decent point in there somewhere? And the answer in this case is don't know yet, because there's some fairly okay looking material, and it could be that the rock got converted more or messed up more around the edges where it's thinner or was more exposed to heat. So I'm talking too much. I was not going to talk much. Just not hardly any flint at all in this real skinny end here. But it looks kind of like there could be a point in here. So I'm gonna keep the rock. I can't hit that, it's a square edge. The big risk at doing a big hit here is that edge is probably, nah, it's gonna fail. I don't like to work fast too much on something like this because no reason to fail it just because I'm trying to make time. Okay, let's see what we do here. All right, well, there is a point here. Should be all right. Let me say very clearly that this rock stinks. That wasn't what I was gonna say, but trust me. I'm not saying the rock inside stinks. I'm saying this. I mean, I'll probably get tetanus from looking at this, let alone hitting it. The fact that I nap kind of the opposite in many ways of some nappers that get excellent results means that there's certain nappers, and I count myself in the group, that it's not a great idea to try and quote unquote nap like me. This has got damage on this end. The reason I say that is because I'm rarely, if ever, using quote-unquote best practice. That's an old crack. So whatever result you see me get, it probably would have been better if I had done it a little more correctly. Like that right there. Went into here. Of course, that's all Cortex. Who knows what it would have done if I had set it up better, because all bets are off on that stuff. But like, for instance, if you see me run like a 6-inch flake by just grinding it a little bit and whacking on it, no isolation, no setting things up, no changing where the platform was to get it perfect or any of that kind of stuff. Well, you may go, oh, gee, a 6-inch flake, yay. But it could have been an 8-inch flake, you know, if I had done it right or whatever. So it's all relative. The fact that you can, you know, muscle through or use your familiarity with stuff to get away with things that quote unquote work doesn't mean that it's optimal. I hit that straight in kind of because it looked like it was going to break off right there anyway. But on the flip side of that, in my defense, I will say that my results don't matter, except to me. So if I want to cost myself a little bit of quality or perfection in the final product or whatever, you know, it's not a big, huge deal. The other thing too is that this one's got issues too, where it looks like it got a little bit of problem. I have some degree of patience. I do not have as much patience as some of the Gee Whiz nappers do. And patience does help, big time. Patience allows you to put whatever effort is needed to get a great result into whatever you're doing. Like an inch of chalk that I just kind of hit into or through, or not through. You know, it was really pleasant out like an hour ago, and now it is just getting muggy. It's been raining every afternoon. The winds pick up from the south or southeast at this time of year and pull in moisture off the Gulf, and it just comes in right about here and runs into whatever's from higher up, and they fight till one wins. Pretty, ain't it? I need to go back to solid. I need to get with one or more of them folks that have worked millions of pounds of this crap over in the central part of the state and say, hey, show me that ball peen hammer trick again. Oh, what? Did I say something? Come on, I hit that as hard as I could. Nothing happened. Okay, that happened. Okay, ignore the next to last hit you saw and memorize that one and, you know, talk about it. I need help with my lithic influencer-nosity because I'm sensing my influence is waning. It's not just waning, it's waning cats and dogs. Yeah, I said it. The pun was the highest form of humor in ancient Rome. I think. I mean, I wasn't there. I have no evidence, but an academic told me that. That was right. That there was a slick little hit. That looked all kinds of special. Thin, and you know, I'm whacking this big old thing here, and I just act like this is a pair of tweezers and I'm plucking a thorn out of somebody's paw, and just bing, and off jumps a big old influential flake. Okay, you saw that, right? Oh, there's a little one of them. Dadgum, it better not go very deep. I'm gonna be so mad. That's probably in my point. Maybe not, but look at this. Is that just rude as heck? The answer is yes, it is. And I know who probably put that in there too. Yeah, I'm constantly getting in trouble. My outrageousness. Dadgummit, I am just wearing myself into a dither. A frazzle. I'm not going to be able to get out of bed in the morning. Usually I don't hit way harder than I believe will be necessary to run a flake. When I'm doing this, I'm hitting sometimes about as hard as I can because I'm assuming that the flake run is going to meet a bunch of resistance from chalk, and I don't want it to just die in the middle of a chalk storm because that's not as easy as usual for me to deal with. But I mean, I'm beating this thing. I just don't like that little whatchamacallit. What would you call that? A stab wound. It's got a little stab wound from a heat stab or something. Talking crap again. I don't know what's wrong. I do know that all of y'all have a volume control, so it's my fault I talk, but it's y'all's fault if you listen. So shoot, man, this is practically a preform. What am I doing? I just get to hitting, and I get to not thinking. I need to go talk to the individual who did this and say, hey, we're not trying to make carport things here. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks very much to whoever provided me with this rock. I will maximize to a degree possible full utilization of it. I got like 8,700 arrowheads on the ground here. I'm not saying I will actually extract them from their containers, but I'm thinking too much. Come on. All right. And do it backwards. Pushing hard on this point. To make it curve that way just enough for me to be able to dink down on it. Tearing everything up as I raise it up. So there's one end of my bow gone. Little cracks in there. The whole thing is just flattening stuff. You're looking for those opportunities. And when you see them, take them. And if it's close to being that opportunity, turn it into that opportunity and then take it. It isn't uncommon to have a situation where you discover maybe 3 or 4 hits on a rock that just help a bunch. But there's risk associated with it, and it's a learning curve. And you do have to ruin some rock to learn. Because there's no way that you have an understanding and a familiarization of how to do full-blown whaling on stuff if you've never done it, because you know, there's no muscle memory or awareness of what needs to be done. Crack. Okay. So we're going to do another, we're going to try and set this up and whale on it, and then we're going to stop this rock. And I did cost myself probably ½ an inch or so of rock. And it definitely ain't set up perfectly, but here's the deal. All of this is thick. So I set up that right there. And I'm gonna, this has got a reverse to it that's not safe and not good. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm just holding this down where this is on my hand. That. And this right here is the flake, and that flatten that whole high area kind of. So stop it on that one. BRB.